Hi, I'm David Mines. The COVID virus really has many of us hunkered down at home, just waiting for this to all get over with. A lot of Netflix binge watching. I hear people are baking, trying new recipes, and people are eating and eating and eating. Not only are the grocery stores running out of toilet paper, but they're selling a lot of pizza too. Have you noticed you gained a couple of pounds lately? Don't worry, that's not a symptom of the virus, but it may be a result. We now know that many of the people who have died from the virus had other health conditions going on at the same time. Many already had heart disease or were diabetic or were overweight. Which brings us to today's topic of weight loss. You may have recently heard about the intermittent fasting approach to dieting. I started it last year and lost 24 pounds in about 4 months. That's pretty good, especially since I didn't really have to go on a technical diet. Now, we already know from animal studies that calorie restriction or some form of fasting has been shown to increase lifespan and reduce risk factors for diseases like diabetes, heart disease, and cancer. Now, you can do that with lab animals, but ongoing calorie restriction for long periods of time is hard for most humans. Nevertheless, this new intermittent fasting approach may help in things like decreasing blood sugar, blood pressure, inflammation, insulin resistance, decreasing cholesterol, and triglycerides too. That's a pretty impressive list. A study done at Johns Hopkins University even found an increase in the development of new brain cells and nerve tissues. That resulted in improved brain performance, mood, focus, and memory. You could use some new brain cells, couldn't you? And intermittent fasting may be good for weight loss too. Now, by definition, fasting is going without food. But intermittent fasting is different from traditional diets in that it emphasizes when you eat, not so much what you eat. And that seems to be important. Rather than counting calories and restricting the types of food you eat, you concentrate on eating just in a certain time period. And that seems to be easier for some people. I know it is for me. Now, there's 2 types of intermittent fasting. First is the 5-2 plan. In this approach, people dramatically cut their calories 2 days out of 7 in the week. On those 2 days, they may eat anywhere from 500 to 600 calories, or they may eat nothing at all. On the other 5 days, they consume their normal intake. For some people, this actually does seem to be easier than daily restriction of calories as in a traditional low-calorie diet. Then there's the 16-8 approach. In this version, food is consumed in a window of approximately 8 hours, followed by a fast the next 16 hours. It appears that the body starts burning fat somewhere in the 9 to 12 hours after your last meal, depending on the size of that meal. Many people find that skipping breakfast is a good way to apply this approach. Since you're theoretically sleeping about 8 hours a night, and then if you don't eat any breakfast, the first meal of the day would be in the late morning or at noon. Another snack or light meal in the mid-afternoon is followed in the early evening by the final meal, all within the 8-hour window. By the way, some recent research suggests that eating within a 6-hour window is even better. For many people, this intermittent fasting every day is easier than having a full day of fasting 2 days a week. Now, what about skipping breakfast, though? I was always told it's the most important meal of the day. Many older studies associated skipping breakfast with a higher risk of being overweight and other health problems. But as in so many human observational studies, cause and effect is not proven. It could be that overweight people have poor eating habits, one of which is skipping meals. That doesn't mean that skipping breakfast caused the obesity. There are plenty of thin people out there who don't eat anything in the morning. In the opinion of a lot of us in the field, the importance of breakfast for adults has been overemphasized. In fact, a new study published in the British Medical Journal concluded that, in adults, eating breakfast may not be a good strategy for weight loss. Now, you can certainly continue to have your eggs and cereal if you like, just have it around lunchtime instead. It's important to realize eating less fried, processed, and sugary foods is still of high importance. Your emphasis should be on eating more vegetables, lean protein, and higher fiber choices. Healthy fats like nuts and their butters are also a good idea as well. And as always, it's important to drink water and stay hydrated when you're doing any form of fasting. And just to be safe, clear any changes in your diet with your physician and registered dietitian, especially if you have any medical conditions. If you're dependent upon insulin or taking blood sugar lowering medications, you should especially be cautious. Pregnant and breastfeeding women also have higher nutritional needs than normal. They should also talk to their healthcare provider before starting any changes in their diet. Most studies on intermittent fasting in humans have been of short duration and with small numbers of subjects. As of now, intermittent fasting does not seem to be superior to traditional calorie restriction diets as far as long-term weight loss is concerned. But the key difference seems to be that it's easier to follow for many people. That could be the difference between success and failure. Many people find the intermittent fasting approach combined with a reduced carbohydrate intake gives them a formula for success. Since I graduated with my master's degree in nutrition many years ago, I was taught that carbohydrates are good for you. That was the official government line too. If you remember the food pyramid, the foundation was based on breads, cereals, and other carbohydrates. I ate lots of whole wheat bread, whole wheat pasta, and fruits and vegetables. I was a big cereal eater as well. I did what I was told, and eventually my weight went up to almost 200 pounds. A carbohydrate-based intake may still be good advice for some people, but a lot of us can't handle carbs like when we were younger. If you're like me and are over 50, there's a good chance you have what's called insulin resistance. That's also called prediabetes. It's estimated now that about half of all adults over 50 have it. It turns out I had it too. And by the way, you can have insulin resistance and have a normal blood sugar level and even a normal A1C. But with insulin resistance, your cells don't let the blood sugar in like they used to when you were younger. As a result, your pancreas puts out more and more insulin to force the sugar into your cells. But one of the side effects of high insulin levels is an increase in body fat storage. It also makes it very hard to lose weight, too. While you can officially measure your blood to see if you have insulin resistance, a simple way is to just look on the results of your last blood work your physician did. Take your triglyceride level and divide it by the good HDL cholesterol number. Again, take your triglyceride level and divide it by the good HDL cholesterol number. If you get an answer at 2 or above, there's a good chance you have insulin resistance. For weight loss, those people with insulin resistance do better on a low carbohydrate diet. Get rid of added sugars. Cut down on starches and grains too. Surprisingly, in today's grocery store, even whole wheat bread is highly processed. While it contains all the components of the whole grain, it still gets quickly digested and raises blood sugar levels. Eat less pastas and ready-to-eat cereals as well. Fortunately, you don't have to be concerned about the carbs in non-starchy vegetables. Eat as many vegetable-based dishes as you can. And while exercise is absolutely essential for good health, it by itself does not equal weight loss. Diet is where the potential is for losing weight. Remember, too, that as you restrict calories, nutrition becomes even more important. It's probably a good idea to take a basic multiple vitamin supplement as well on whatever diet you choose. I've now dramatically cut down on my carbohydrates. I eat my first meal in the morning around 11:30. I have scrambled eggs and steel-cut oats. I add soy milk and mix in some peanut butter with the oatmeal as well. I have a snack of mixed nuts around 3 in the afternoon, and I eat dinner around 5:30. That last meal usually consists of a large salad made up of spring mix, avocado, some low-sugar dressing, and pecans. I might also have some kind of boca burger or vegetarian entree with that as well. And I don't eat again until about 11:30 the next morning. As I said, I've lost 24 pounds doing that without officially going on a diet. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Remember, there is no perfect diet for everyone, but hopefully you got a new idea or two here today. The best diet is the one that you can live with the rest of your life. We've got a lot more to talk about, so to continue this conversation, please contact Speakers Network Worldwide at 704-342-0095. I hope we have an opportunity to get together again real soon.